On this Tuesday edition of Now, we're talking about nest eggs, that savings account for a rainy day. How many people actually have them?
We're also talking about cell phones and how they may have more control over you than you're aware of.
And it may be June, but here's why you should start saving for the holiday shipping.
This is News Center Now. Everybody, I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Amanda Hill. Today we're talking about something that can make people a little bit uncomfortable, and that's money.
Yeah, it just gives me hives. Planning for the future, and especially some unexpected parts of your future, it could be really terrifying. And there's a new study from bankrate.com, and it shows that roughly 1 in 4 Americans have no emergency savings funds. That would be money for unexpected expenses like car repairs or medical bills. Chris Costa is here, and he set out to see if the trend holds true in our state.
So we wanted to collect our own data with one very simple question. Do you have a savings account? And we're asking you to participate right now. Go to pulse.newscenter.com to vote, or open our apps and select the Pulse tab. And for those that don't have a savings account, financial planners say you may want one.
Do you have a savings account that you put money in?
Only about 3/4 of Americans have one. We put that figure to the test. Blue paper for yes, red paper for no.
I have an emergency savings account, which I try really hard not to take money out of, that I just stow away in case something bad happens.
And put it in the jar.
Not everyone is prepared, though.
I don't have a savings account, actually. But as a student, honestly, I rely a lot on my parents.
Is this favorite?
People have all sorts of reasons for having a cash cushion.
My daughter's having surgery and I want to be with her, and so I had the money for a plane ticket. So I'm fortunate in that.
If you do, put a blue piece of paper.
Certified financial planners recommend people have at least 5 months worth of fixed living expenses saved for the unexpected. Repairing a car, paying medical bills, or losing a job.
It's really difficult to manage your money if you don't know what you have or where it's going.
Financial advisor Sarah Halpin says spending more than you have makes it even harder to save.
It's all around ensuring that you're not financially vulnerable.
It was yes?
Yes.
All right.
But saving means something different to Michael April.
Not only was I an active alcoholic and an addict, when I didn't have a bank account for many years, I lived on a cash basis.
He's now on the right path, sober, working, and putting money away.
It's a sense of peace in a different direction. This is one of those little things that I don't have to worry about anymore. Or not as much. I mean, sometimes times are tough. It's life. Life goes on. But I don't have to fall back on where I was before.
So here are the results we collected. Here's our little jar. Out of 44 people, 11 did not have an emergency savings account, which works out to about 25%, pretty much in line with the bankrate.com study. Now, while more Americans are saving more, they may not be saving enough. The financial advisor we spoke to says she recommends people have 5 months of expenses for a rainy day fund. But the Bankrate study found only 31% of the people they surveyed had savings that would last them 6 months or more. So there's that 31% that doesn't really have it, but that's the general recommendation from the financial advisor. So sounds like we all got to do a lot better.
Yeah, and everybody with a lot to say. I don't have a savings account. I make sacrifices just to get through week to week. How can I possibly have extra for a savings account? I'm on disability. I don't make enough to have a savings account. I have to choose between groceries or a savings account. So I think the common theme here is everybody would love to have one, but for some people it's just not possible if they want to pay bills and get through every day too. So.
I would say for the most part it is possible, but you have to have the right plan in place. You could be saving $1 a month, and that'll get you a savings account.
And it could be something little, like if you don't get your coffee that day, is that $3? And if you times 5 days, that's $15 a week, and all of a sudden you've got $60 a month, and then you're making money over the course of a year. So if you sacrifice that, so
the perfect segue
into
the next part of the story.
Well, who knew? I think we've made it clear that you certainly should have a savings account if you can, but how do you do that?
Sarah Halpin recommends downloading a free personal finance app to help you keep track of your spending. Then go old school. Save your spare change in a jar. Eating out can be a drain on your finances. She says bringing lunch to work can save you up to $20 a week.
I'm totally guilty on that one. And the Maine legislature is considering a bill that could help Mainers save more by helping them make more. The bill would ban prospective employers from asking candidates what they made at their previous job. The concept is that someone who was underpaid at their last job would then not continue to be underpaid in the future. The bill did pass the House yesterday, but faces an uncertain future.
All right, switching gears, if you did not see any rain yesterday, don't count yourself out just yet. Keith is here with a first look at the forecast. Hey, Keith.
Hey, guys. I agree you shouldn't be able to ask what you made in your last job. It seems irrelevant to me. Some thunderstorms across the state. Look at this little line that just congealed in the last 15 or 20 minutes across central and northern Maine. That's where some of the biggest activity has been. These storms over New Hampshire getting into western Maine aren't all that feisty right now. Watch this one as it drifts south of Paris here and the one just to the north of Conway. But here's the real line up here. Bangor and into Lincoln, into Millinocket. Millinocket had some strong storms earlier. Bangor saw some hail on the south side. So this whole line is trekking off to the east and northeast and will be in here in under a half hour. It is not a severe thunderstorm at this point, but there'll probably be some lightning certainly and a couple of straight line winds in there as well. These storms die down tonight. Tomorrow morning we start off with some decent sunshine. We destabilize the atmosphere again though tomorrow afternoon. Look for more scattered showers and thunderstorms. There'll be less of them around than there were today, and of course today there were less of them than yesterday. So overall we're starting to stabilize a little bit as far as that goes. And guys, a beautiful day on Thursday. Lots of sunshine and the first day without thunderstorms.
All right, Keith, thank you. This is a really disturbing story here. An attack on a teenager caught on camera. Police in Rochester, New Hampshire looking for this man who was seen sneaking up behind an 18-year-old woman at a Planet Fitness parking lot. This happened on June 12th. Police say she was punched nearly 40 times, thrown to the ground, kneed in the head. The suspect, a white male, police believe that he fled in a light-colored Ford Fusion or another similar vehicle. The victim was not seriously injured. She was brought to the hospital by a friend. If you have any information, police are urging that you please call them. People on opioids who were forced to taper down their daily doses to abide by a state law are breathing a little bit of relief today. The
governor has signed into law a bill that would provide greater flexibility to doctors treating those patients. Before the legislation was enacted, people prescribed opioids for chronic pain were being forced to taper down their daily doses to 100 morphine milligram equivalents by July. Some of those patients were taking 3 or 4 times that amount, but a new law that went into effect last Friday clarified the existing law to make it clear doctors could provide exemptions for patients who were dealing with chronic pain. Eric Wass was prescribed opioids for chronic pain and was initially being forced to taper down his dose, but he was struggling with increased pain. He no longer has to and says it's made all the difference in the world.
Well, I can work all day. And I have a vegetable garden over there now. So that's what has given me my life back, because it was being taken away from me. All the things that I love to do was being taken away from me.
Maine DHHS expressed concerns about adding too many exemptions to the law, saying excessive overprescribing of opioid painkillers is what led us to an epidemic that Maine and the nation are now facing. All right, still to come. If you are not on board with the man bun trend, get ready, because Barbie's boyfriend's getting a makeover, but it's not just about trendy hairstyles. Find out why Ken is getting a new look. Plus,
these are issues that it's the responsibility of our entire community to solve.
A recent study documents discrimination against transgender people in Maine. We'll tell you what they found. Coming up tonight on 207, we are ready to cook for summer. We've got David Torn from David's Restaurant with us in the kitchen. What's on the menu, David?
Portland seafood cioppino.
Wait till you see all the wonderful seafood ingredients David puts in this one simple dish. He'll share the recipe tonight on 207.
All right, it is a little early to be thinking about the holiday season, but UPS is already planning for its busiest time of the year. Let's be honest, people are already Christmas shopping right now. You know they are.
I hope not. You may not like what the shipping company has decided. UPS announced today it's going to add a surcharge, of course, for retailers that make residential deliveries during certain weeks in November and December. To have a package sent to a home, it will cost an additional 27 cents. A fee of between 81 and 97 cents will be added to overnight, second day, or third day deliveries if they come between December 17th through the 23rd. Oversized packages will also have an additional charge. Buyers could end up carrying that cost if retailers decide to pass the fee along to customers. Yay, it's going to cost more.
If you have any Barbie fans in your life, you may be sending them a new doll for the holidays because Barbie's boyfriend Ken is undergoing a huge makeover. Mattel has unveiled its most diverse line of Ken dolls ever. 15 new Ken dolls featuring new body types in a variety of skin tones and hairstyles, along with 25 additional diverse Barbie dolls.
Yeah, Ken will now come in 3 different body types: slim, broad, and original. And his new hairstyles include cornrows and the man bun. I want one of those. I don't think I could do that. The makeover part of Mattel's plan to make its dolls more diverse and appeal to today's kids. Mattel says some of the new dolls are for sale on its website already. All of them should be on store shelves just in time for the holidays.
Wait, so you yourself want a man bun, or you want a Ken with a man bun?
Sure. Yes to both.
Okay.
Only one is possible.
I think you can pull it off. This Friday, we once again hit the road, this time going live from the islands of Casco Bay, talking to locals, including one guy who has one of the best views at work.
I think the most interesting things that we see are people.
Captain Gene Willard has navigated the ferries in the Casco Bay Line's fleet for more than 30 years. He also runs Portland Express Water Taxi. Now, this mail boat is one of the best ways to cruise around the bay and see a lot of the islands as it tours through, delivering everything from mail to porta potties to groceries and picking up returnables. But passengers get a nice cruise for a fairly low price. We're going to hear some stories from Captain Willard on Friday when Now hits the road.
How are you feeling, by the way?
I'm okay now, but doing that through a camera was a little rough.
Good shade of green.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, don't forget to vote in the Pulse poll today. Are you saving up for a rainy day? Go to pulse.newscentermaine.com or open the Pulse tab on your app.
We will reveal the results at the end of the show, so make sure you vote before our half hour is over. The Maine legislature wants to take its distracted driving laws one step further. Find out what could soon be illegal.
Plus, after yesterday's downpours, there may be even more thunderstorms on the way. Keith is in next with your forecast.
Takes advantage of the ultimate fitting room. Your room.
Is Amazon trying to take over the world? Yesterday we told you about they wanted to buy Whole Foods. Today Amazon is moving past groceries and diving deeper into the fashion business.
Yeah, they've announced Prime Wardrobe, which seems similar to Stitch Fix or Trunk Club if you've heard of those online styling services. The Amazon service allows you to order a bunch of items: shoes, jackets, dresses, try them on in your own home, then send them back if you don't like them. And if you keep enough items in your box, you get a discount. Now, the service hasn't officially launched yet, but I can tell you in this newsroom, it has garnered a lot of conversation. So there's that. All right, this weekend Bangor is celebrating LGBT Pride Month. Last week in the city of Portland held its parade.
Cities and states across the country are recognizing how far the LGBT community has come. Victories for marriage and equality and anti-discrimination. But a recent survey reveals that an often marginalized population within that group is experiencing discrimination. More than we might know. News Center's Zach Blanchard explains.
That population is the state's transgender community. While the new survey reveals the challenges they face in life, advocates say that for too long, we just weren't seeing it.
A true Mainer can pack a tackle box and make the trek to the water's edge. All for that one moment where you can cast your line and relax.
The peace, the quiet, it's just comfortable.
No, it's not for everyone. But for 22-year-old Amber Megan Keeler, it's her escape from what she otherwise describes as a lonely journey.
Isolated.
Even going so far as to mask her true identity for her own protection, whether it's at work or even searching for a new place to live.
I'm scared of what might happen, and I feel like my chances of having a positive outcome are better if people don't know I'm queer.
And she is not alone. A national survey advocates are calling groundbreaking finds that 182 trans people in Maine experienced discrimination in things such as housing and education in 2015. But only one person filed a claim to the Maine Human Rights Commission that year.
These are issues that it's the responsibility of our entire community to solve.
Maggie Campbell with the Maine Health Equity Alliance says the survey reveals challenges not exclusive to the transgender community, given the state's rural makeup and a lack of resources.
These aren't problems for trans Mainers. These are problems for all Mainers that are experienced so disproportionately by trans people.
Something Amber has learned to battle firsthand.
I would rather feel comfortable at home than live somewhere where I could get better support.
An unimaginable ultimatum facing an all too unrecognized and vulnerable population in Maine, just hoping someone will cast them a line.
For the full results of that survey, as well as some helpful resources, you can head on over to our website. Reporting for News Center, I'm Zach Blanchard.
Now, the data for that study was collected in 2015, but the final analysis wasn't revealed until just a few months ago.
A big thank you to Amber for sharing her story,
Absolutely.
too. Yeah. All right, Keith, we got some thunderstorms coming through.
Very summary pattern. Humidity, though, going down. We're going to talk about dew points, humidities, and today's raindrops. But
tell everybody what today is, too. Before we get started, today's the longest day of the year.
It starts getting shorter tomorrow as far as daylight goes. Still got a while before it's short, but we're going the other direction. Thunderstorms popping up all over the place right now. It's interesting to me that this line here over northern and central Maine has actually congealed better, and even this cell here towards Waterford is looking pretty good, just north of Bridgeton on 302. Not severe, but on the stronger side. This line again has come together, so Bangor, no chance of getting out of this one. This line of thunderstorms is coming right through here from Bangor up to Old Town and then northward as well. A place like Millinocket seeing the second line of storms coming through just now to their east and continuing eastward here across Aroostook County. So these are not severe storms, but they do pack a punch, strong straight line winds and plenty of cloud to ground lightning. Dew points, dew points, dew points. We're going to talk about them more in a second, as I mentioned, but look at where they are over down east and northern Maine, still in the mid and upper 60s. Look how dry it is down here. The opposite direction of where dry air typically comes from, but it's coming in from southwest to northeast right now. Everyone will feel more comfortable by tonight. It hasn't been hot the past few days, but it has been very humid, and that feeling will go away at least for a little while before it returns on Friday. Another disturbance moves through tomorrow, so more pop-up showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. After a bright start to the day, we will see those thunderstorms later in the day. A lot of us, though, will miss them. They'll be scattered. And then the best day of the work week is Thursday, high pressure firmly in place. Nice, bright, no chance of showers and storms. And then on Friday, a warm front will lift through with some showers and some thunderstorms trail in the afternoon. So tomorrow morning we start off with sun, but here comes some clouds and some shower and thunderstorm chances. Again, not everybody gets in on that action. And then Thursday, nice through the entire day, temperatures right around 80 degrees. High temperatures tomorrow, 80 or so. But again, it will be a dry 80, which will change how it feels. Real quickly here, guys, tropics heating up. We do have a tropical storm, Cindy, down in the Gulf of Mexico. It will be a heavy rain producer for the Gulf Coast. 8 to 12 inches of rain, by the way. Morning shower on Saturday. Sunday looks really nice. Most of the weekend is good. The way it breaks down, most of us are cleared up by 11 a.m. or so on Saturday, and we're nice through the remainder of the weekend. Some shower chances again next week. Nothing jumps out at me, though. Overall, pretty typical summer weather.
Okay, we can deal with that.
I got no complaints. It all works for me. Thank you, bud. Appreciate it. All right, you're running out of time. Quickly, got to vote in our Pulse poll today.
Yes, do you have a savings account to dip into in case of an emergency? So far, 70% say yes. I'm actually proud of you guys for that. You can still vote pulse.newscentermaine.com or select the Pulse tab on our mobile apps.
All right, pay attention to this because the Maine House of Representatives voted today to enact a new ban on the use of handheld devices while you're driving. Texting and driving is already illegal in Maine, but this bill would also mean that you can't hold the phone while you talk. Only hands-free devices would be allowed. The Maine Senate passed the bill this bill last week. Still needs some procedural votes and the governor's signature before it would actually become law. So we know distracted driving can obviously be deadly. There are way too many horror stories out there to ignore this as a problem.
So why is it so hard to put the phone down? The medical community found there may actually be something in our brain chemistry that makes us want to reply to that text message.
And it's an internal battle that everybody's going to have.
That battle of whether to answer that text message or not while driving. University of Minnesota psychiatrist Dr. Catherine Nelson shows us that need to answer comes from a central part of the brain that commands the urgency, those fight or flight responses.
When we have that alert that there's some social or other interaction that ties us into our community, our brain tells us that there is potentially a life or death threat or reward.
She says it's the outer region of the brain that helps control our judgment, telling us not to pick up the phone. If there's any evidence to reinforce we should not text and drive, Dr. Bill Tatum of Mayo Clinic may have found it. During routine monitoring of epilepsy patients, his team in Florida accidentally found that brain waves slowed down in the front and central parts of the brain of some patients when they were texting, adding to the question of distractibility.
So now I think we have a means of proving that there's a change in the brainwave activity that occurs when somebody texts, and that detracts from otherwise a normal, healthy, alert waveform.
His team plans more research to understand these changes and any possible long-term effects.
That was Ellery McCardle reporting, and now we'll be right back.
All right, Pulse results, 73% say yes, they have a savings account, 27 say no, and in our story it was 75-25,
yeah.
So we're pretty much right there.
Right on the line there, yeah. I'm impressed though, well done for those
73 with a savings account. All right, good job. And can you loan me some money?
Oh, yeah. Also, how much is in it?
Throwing it in there.
Today's brain drops, something I feel passionately about, not controversial, don't worry guys. It's dew point versus percentage humidity. People misuse this all the time. You hear someone say it was 90% humidity out. That does not matter as far as what it feels like to be outside. And let me explain to you how that works. A day in Florida, the temperature is 75, it's the morning, right? The dew point is 74. That makes the humidity percentage 97%. So it feels sticky, and that aligns with what you think, right? High percentage. But as it warms up and the dew point doesn't change, now it's 95 degrees, the dew point is still 74, and the humidity is 51%. Let me tell you, if you go out and it is 95 and the dew point is 74, you will be spritzing hard. It is extremely humid. The dew point is the real measure here. Relative humidity is relative to the temperature. So as they get farther away from each other, it skews it and it no longer makes sense. Another great example, more pertinent in Maine, is if it's snowing and it's 25 degrees, the relative humidity will be 100% during a snowstorm, and it's 25 with a dew point of 25. Would you be sweating in that scenario?
Or spritzing.
You wouldn't do, it would be extremely dry.
We want a definition on spritzing.
Spritzing. It's
More
sweating.
importantly.
It's sweating
What he
kind of
meant
like
to
in a projectile
say
way.
Was schwitzing, which is Yiddish, so I appreciate the offer.
I didn't think that I could do that.
I got you.
In
Schwitzing.
short,
Good to know, though.
I don't want to see percentages anymore from anyone.
News Center at 5:30 starts right now.
We're schwitzing. We gotta go.